Hi, today we are making energizing snack bites. So I have pre-measured everything out. The recipe is a PDF that you have access to. Message me if you can't find it somewhere. We are using ground up nut butter, and I chose to use the chunky almond, cashew, and coconut flavor. We have 4 ounces of that. We have a 1/4 cup of honey, 1/3 cup flaxseed, a 1/3 cup coconut unsweetened, a tablespoon of both chia seeds and mini chocolate chips, and a 1/2 cup of oats. So it's supposed to have vanilla. I happen to be out. And so first and foremost, you mix the soft liquid ingredients in a bowl. So that would be the nut butter as well as the honey. And again, any of the nut butters that you like can be used. If you can't tolerate peanuts or tree nuts, then you can always use sunflower seed butter. That's an option as well. And really that's where we get a lot of the blood sugar management of these snack bites is through the fat and protein of the nut butter or the seed butter. Obviously honey is your sweetener. So I'm just going to mix them up together before I add the dry. And I'm using a rubber scraper just to get all of the nut butter out of the jar. It probably would be best and easiest to use a wooden spoon. There's my oats, my ground flax. We buy whole flax seeds and grind them in the coffee grinder, so that's an option. Here's my unsweetened coconut, my tablespoon of chia seeds, and my tablespoon of tiny chocolate chips. They are a little bit tinier than the average chocolate chip, which I think is nice in these bites because that way as you make them into bites, if they're small, the more likely you are to actually have a chocolate chip per bite. You'll notice after we've mixed everything together that my mix is just a little bit crumbly. Now, if it were incredibly dry, you could add more nut butter. If it were super moist, then you could add more oats or flaxseed or chia seed to absorb the moisture. So we have a handy dandy little melon baller cookie dough scooper, and I'm going to use that just to try to make the snack bites relatively one uniform size. And then you can see I'm just pressing them into a ball. So there's one. I'm using a beautiful plate that my mother-in-law made. Isn't she talented? Has a little shell here. So I'm just going to put them there and line them up. And then what you'll see at the end is that we have about a dozen or so small energizing snack bites. And I like to keep them in the refrigerator. That way the nut butter firms up a little bit and it allows the bites to hold their shape a little more. Although keeping them unrefrigerated is perfectly okay as well. I don't like to eat cold things, and so even when I keep them refrigerated, I do tend to take them out and let them warm up a little bit to room temperature. My daughter, who tends to really like cold things to snack on, she's known to put these in the freezer and then she eats them right out of the freezer as a snack that way. Now, as you can see, my left hand is incredibly covered. My right hand less so, but so is the handle of the scooper. But I want to show you that because this is a great activity to do with children. Get in there with your hands, mash all the wet stuff into the oats and make sure everything's relatively distributed. So there I am. And I also want to show you my final product. We've got 12 balls. In the beginning, they were very circular. Towards the end, they get a little messy because I got sticky. They will all taste the same, and because of their fat, protein, and carb content, they will give us energy and keep us energized and not have an energy spike and then a crash like an all-refined carbohydrate snack might. Enjoy, give me feedback, and enjoy the ground up nut butters as well. Thanks, take care.